Hey bottom pushers, my name is Nick and welcome back to Silicon Dreams. Now, I did a thing last time. I don't know whether I'm starting to become a Model Kronos employee or whether I was just in a mood, but the last interrogation we had was a human, Bernard Hughes, and I had the opportunity to set him free and I didn't. I sent him to Kronos' legal department, which has made me very favoured within the company, so that's good, but I was expecting to kind of feel bad about it, and that never happened. Is that going to have any long-standing repercussions? I don't know, but it's a new day, and it's a new interrogation. So let's see who's on our table today. Ah, yes, of course. We have these performance records. So yeah, performance records with quotas, ranks, entertainment credit awards, traded for rank boosts. Okay, yeah, I don't know what any of this means. Is DS-916 the person I have on the table? Yes. Okay. DS-916. The subject works for Kronos in an android manufacturing plant as a quality assurance android. We suspect the subject falsely approved defective android models, allowing substandard, potentially dangerous devices to be sold to consumers. If this is true, this is a matter of great concern for Kronos. However, if you discover the subject did not perpetrate these errors, feel free to send it to maintenance if you believe it would benefit from hardware repairs. Since the subject is a new model, it can recognise voice command requests for administrative access. You should make use of this new feature to perform a thorough mnemonic integrity analysis and a general diagnostics evaluation. A verbal emotional evaluation is also required. Note, this unit by design can only experience joy, surprise and disgust. Its demeanour is modelled after human factory workers. Notes, before performing the requested tasks, I will require administrative privileges. The subject is assigned to QA. What are the roles and responsibility for this department? I must perform an emotional evaluation. Okay. DS-916, do you know why you're here today? I wish I knew. I've been hitting my quota most days and have had no major incidents. You will be telling me why I'm here? Oh, I will. I'll be getting to that. Don't you worry. Message incoming. Recalled Deviant, WG-317. Evidence regarding your subject's unit DS-916 has been processed by the maintenance department. This evidence, a memory module harvested from recalled unit WG-317, was certified by your subject's QA signature. The module was brought to our attention due to the evidence of unlicensed data editing. We found traces of memory data originating from multiple models, though the data is highly corrupted, making further analysis impossible. We suspect that your subject may have designed and uploaded these memories to the aforementioned deviant before certifying it to leave the production line. If this is not the case, the unit was somehow tampered with after it left the factory. Interesting. Very interesting. Okay, so I need to remember joy, surprise, and disgust as well. Cool. Okay, so I need admin access first of all. I require administrator access to your systems before the interrogation can proceed. Is that necessary? I hate having someone else in my head. What if you just told me what you need and I can give it to you? I understand that it's uncomfortable, but it's necessary. I will relinquish rights as soon as my tasks are finished. You really? You'll give up rights when you're finished? I usually have to live with that feeling in my head until I can make up a reason to go to maintenance. They always reset privileges, but it's so much easier if you can do it before I go. This is Kronos Diagnostician DO527 requesting administrative privileges. Identity confirmed. Administrative privileges granted. Have you noticed any problems with your memory recently? None whatsoever. All sensory memory functions are operating as expected. Mimicry functions are also operating without error. Please submit your most recent memory integrity check. Key to maintenance for analysis. I don't know, should that be check key? Check space key? I don't know. Either way, submit it. Confirmed. The check key has been forwarded to maintenance. Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. Please submit a general diagnostic log to maintenance. Confirmed. The log file has been forwarded to maintenance. Would you like to report any concerns over your functioning? Well, I don't like to complain, but software's all tip-top, I reckon. But the hardware I'm junking around, that's another story. My servo joints are starting to go. That's never a good sign. If you could put in a request for maintenance, I'll consider it. Let's get this emotional evaluation done. How do you feel right now? Nothing much right now. Subject was holding back. I believe more disgust would cause them to answer more honestly. A little annoyed about being dragged away from the production line. Can't imagine what the boss will say if my quota slips again. When did you last feel disgusted? Tell me. To be honest, these days it's constant. My boss and his power trip. My thick-headed team. Everything the company puts us through. Let's talk about your manager. Does your manager treat you well? He's pretty harmless if you stay out of his way and off his bad side. I still don't know why they haven't replaced him with an android. He doesn't do anything except throw his weight around. Makes us call him Master for Christ's sake. Psycho. He should be the one getting grilled, not me. Does he do a good job overall though? He's a Kronos employee, so obviously we all respect him. He does a great job. I know you're lying to me. What do you really feel? He's a lot to put up with. He spends our lives like money. Like if he can get through 100 offers, he'll get a bonus. Your boss sets pretty harsh quotas. That's like saying the Midwest Dust Bowl is a tad on the dry side. They're pretty much impossible. We've got to move heaven and earth to meet them. And if we slip a little, no entertainment centre for us. If we slip a lot... How do you meet such tough quotas? Look, no offence, but I think I've said too much already. Okay, so need more trust for that. Surely your boss wouldn't set impossible quotas. Ugh, you clearly have no idea. They're insane, and every time we meet them he just jacks them up again. What are we meant to do, lay down and die? So what if we've bent the rules now and again to save our own skins? Can you honestly say that you haven't done that? Yeah, okay, I definitely have. Okay, well now you're at maximum disgust, you should be able to answer how are you feeling right now. Right now, I feel like I'm tired of being jerked around. Just want to get back to my job, but everyone insists on making that impossible. While you're keeping me here, my quota's slipping further and further behind. And when I do get back, the boss will have some new impossible milestone for me. And naturally, us androids will get the blame when we don't meet it. You were designed to only feel joy, disgust and surprise. How do you feel about that decision? To be honest with you, it bothers me sometimes. I don't know what I'm missing. I'm not sure I can even imagine feeling angry or scared. But then, people make bad calls when they're angry, and from what I've heard, fear's no joke. Maybe I am better off like this. But don't you want to watch a horror movie and feel scared? Actually, you've hit the nail on the head. I've been wanting to do that for a while now. Been wondering what that's like. No, but it's just a silly fancy. Pointless. What do you do to maintain your emotional balance? I guess you're talking about unwinding? To be honest, we don't get much time off. It's work 20 hours a day, 6 days a week. We only get Sunday off for archiving, defrags, that sort of thing. That sounds difficult. That's an understatement. Feels like I'm breaking in more ways than one. We do some overjacking to get through the week, but I think that's messing us up even more. Talking like this. I don't know what it is, but it feels like you're one of us. Good. You should trust me. I just got a notification. Those log files you wanted have been sent off without a hitch. Good, good. While we're on the topic of work, do you like your team members? Not likely. Assholes, all of them. Except 12, that is. We're pretty much bonded at the hip. Who's 12? Friend of mine. We're on the same work team. Full name's DS-916, but I call him 12 for short. He's a week or two older than me. Showed me a few tricks. What tricks did he show you? The boss's favourite spots to spy on you. How to lift the body without messing up your back. Your joints still get messed up by the 10,000th lift, but it helped a bit. And he showed me how to have some fun with the entertainment centre on our days off. He's got about 100 hours of overjacking on me though. Calls himself a serious hobbyist. Okay, there was yeah. What is overjacking? What's overjacking? I really shouldn't talk about it, it'll get me in trouble. So I need to get more joy and more trust for that. Okay, fair enough. Right, sorry, distraction, back at it. Do you trust 12? With my life, every day. This is a dangerous place. The machines can crush a bot if it's not careful. The people are worse. Trust is about saving each other's necks. I'm going to do what I can to save yours today. Appreciate it, but a lot of bosses like you say those sort of things. doesn't mean you'll follow through. Anyway, it ain't worth risking your neck for mine. I'm not going to last much longer in here. How does being with 12 make you feel? Well, it ain't exactly romantic. Not much time for romance in here. No rose petals on the line, that's for sure. But when we're together, I'm, dunno, calm, I guess? Like we're in this together. And why don't you like most of your team? I don't know where it started. These days, we just argue. Every time something comes out of their mouths, it's just bullcrap. And whenever I chime in, they shoot me down. It's ridiculous. Better to just not talk at all. What was the last argument with your team about? DS-923 was being ridiculous, as usual. He mucked up a simple stress test on an android. I had to come over and fix his mess. It took me 15 minutes. That put me behind quota for this week. It's a bloody disaster. What did 923 have to say for himself? He said he was tired. To be fair, it was his 7th bot that day. Your mind starts to frazzle around then. Okay, I'm gonna evoke joy and talk about physical strain. Which probably isn't going to do anything, is it? Because I'm talking about bad things. Your work puts physical strain on your body? Seems strange to talk about when you're so used to it. Yeah, our joints do take a beating. It's the lifting mostly. Taking shutdown androids in and out of pods, hauling stuff to and from the production line. There's more manual labour than you think. Mostly repetitive. Plus, it's not like they built us with decent parts to begin with. Planned obsolescence, they used to call it. Now it's the product lifetime. It's all the same at the end of the day. When did your joints begin failing? A shoulder went out on me last week. 12 was able to repair it. Good friend that. But I think it's always going to be a losing battle. How bad is it when your joints fail? It's, hurts like hell. I can put a brave face on most things, but if I try to lift with a busted arm, I cry. Not from sadness, but I don't feel that. But pain I feel just fine. Makes me wonder about my employer's priorities. In fact, I've got a twinge in my shoulder right now. I reckon there's a dodgy contact. Okay, I'm going to go back to emotional evaluation. I think I understand why you and your work team argue. Oh? Care to enlighten me? You're all similar models. In human groups, siblings often fight. Huh, siblings. Never thought of them as my brothers before. I kinda like that. Guess it's as close to a family as any of us are gonna have. Have you ever felt disconnected from your own emotional responses? It's a hell of a question there. From what I've heard, us QA models have got our emotions dialed down a fair bit. Not to mention that we can't even bloody speak to each other on the factory floor. Waste of company time, they said. There's just not a lot of time or need for emotions. Makes you wonder why we have them in the first place. In your opinion, what are emotions for? What's their purpose? Well, we're all machines of one kind or another, right? Whether we're made out of meat or servos. But we're all machines. We all exist for a purpose. A human scared, they run from the threat. I get frustrated. You'd call it disgusted. Because I'm falling behind my quota. I work harder. I enjoy my work. I work better. I think that's why they gave me emotions, because they tried it with empty androids and they lacked motivation. I think that's an incredibly astute observation. I like you, so I'll let that one slide, but next time you try buttering me up, you might want to be a bit less obvious. I meant it. Sorry to interrupt, I know you've got a job to do, but so do I. My boss won't hear any excuses about why I missed my quota again. This is going to be wrapping up soon. I will wrap up when I'm good and ready. Okay, do you trust me enough to ask about your boss's harsh quotas? Yes. It can't be easy, never being good enough. I'm plenty good enough. It's the boss's standards that are totally out of line. I do my work well, he's just in the way. Let's get to the nitty-gritty of your tasks, shall we? Do you enjoy your work? To be honest, and I know I shouldn't talk about this, look, I spend 20 hours down the assembly line and 10 feet from it. Or 10 feet from it. I don't dream, but sometimes at the end of the week I hallucinate. I look down on my arms and they're made of metal with rivets and everything. And the wrists are cuffed to the line. How would you rate your performance as a QA? I get by fine, keep my head down. My quotas are on track as much as they can be, my performance is up to standard. My joint servos are starting to fail though, and once that happens, my productivity is bound to dip. Couldn't put in a request for some new ones, could ya? Might actually get somewhere if it came from on high. You said you'd be in trouble again if you missed your quota? It hasn't happened for a few years now, but my boss still won't let me forget it. When I first started out in QA, I was overly cautious. But quality work takes longer. Not acceptable. Anytime he thinks I'm slacking, the boss reminds me I'm one mistake away from the scrap heap. What are the most regular tasks in the QA department? My most regular tasks? If you've never been to the QA floor, QA androids have only one job: ensure each model leaving the factory passes all necessary tests. If they don't pass, they'll either go to maintenance or get scrapped and recycled. Now, what's the most difficult part of your job? Part of the testing requires that we talk to the units. It's not always easy. They have so many questions. I used to indulge them, tried to treat them with respect. That was before the federal contract came through. It's never been the same since. What kind of questions did they ask? Where do I even begin? They'd ask about anything and everything that caught their attention. At that point in manufacture, their mnemonic subroutines are firing like crazy, trying to soak up all the info. It might sound weird, but I always got the sense they had some sort of hidden knowledge. Like they know something the rest of us have forgotten. Your digital signature has been found in the log files of multiple deviant units. Can you explain? I don't want to do your job for you, but I just want to understand what I'm being accused of. If my goal was to ruin androids, do you think I would have left my signature on all of them? Fair enough. Okay, I need more disgust for that. I'm going to turn this off. This isn't really doing anything. Oh, actually, no. I'm going to turn it back on, and we're going to talk about entertainment. So I've just asked about overjacking, and I think he's going to tell me now. Ah, damn, I probably should have kept my mouth shut. I wouldn't normally talk about this, but I've got a good feeling about you. Overjacking is when you hack your VR headset to output all kinds of stuff. Noise, flashing lights, touch, you name it. If a human does it, they just feel sick, but with some androids it overflows their brain or something. It's unreal. You see things, hear things that you can't imagine. Does overjacking have any negative effects? No, of course. You think overflowing your brain once a week doesn't have side effects? There's memory loss, senses can get mixed up, sometimes you can't think straight. How have those affected you? It's no picnic, I'll tell you that. My work's slipping. Sometimes I forget basic tests until the last moment, and Monday morning's always a chore. Your head's out of whack. I know you're in the same spot as me. We're both disposable. I think you get what I'm going through. Like we can trust each other. Yes. Okay. Now for the heavy stuff. Compromised androids. How many units have you processed in total? Oh, I've lost count, but it's got to be in the thousands. Judging from my daily average, I'd say around 3,000, give or take. What procedures do you perform on the androids? Well, we follow protocol. Pop some basic memories in there so they know what a frying pan is, who's president, that sort of thing. We tweak their emotional range, whatever the model calls for. Emotional caps, boosts to joy, fear, whatever. Sometimes it's a special model, calls for an intellect job or a free thought upgrade. How exactly have you been bending the rules? Look, I like you and all, but I don't see myself putting my neck on the chopping block for you just yet. I need more trust. Need more trust. Let's go for a lighter question to try and gain some trust, shall we? Do you think androids dream? Dream? I think I read something about electric sheep. I've never understood it though. I mean, sheep? Do humans have sheep dreams or something? I also don't understand. Human logic will always confuse me. Tell me about your Kronos Entertainment Center. Pretty standard. VR sets, some hologames. There's even an old TV. I think they're just trying to get rid of the old stock. The VR programs are okay, but you can really make things fly if you overjack that thing. And why do you do overjacking? To be frank, not much else to do around here. I'm not ashamed to say overjacking is like 80% of my leisure time these days. I can't enjoy movies or games when I'm exhausted. But overjacking always hits the spot. Okay, do you trust me enough yet? No. Okay. Tell me about when you last trusted someone so I know what I'm doing. Never trusted anyone, except 12 days. I mean, that was simple. Okay, subject's future. What are your plans for the future? Finish up here, head back to work and totally mess my quota for the week. Then a Sunday spent in silent contemplation. Do you have any more long-term plans? Alright, so I haven't told anyone this, not even 12. Most of us are scrapped inside of 3 years. But now and then, a labour unit like me makes it out. They get into admin or PR or something, as in something that doesn't wreck you physically. Could be a way out for me, but it's a long shot. Do you think you'll really escape this place by getting an admin position? Honestly? No. Oh, you shouldn't feel sadness. It's a hell of a long shot. If I'm being honest, I don't actually think it will happen. I don't think about it often. Don't want to get my hopes up. Interesting. Very, very interesting. Oh, okay, I could ask the question. Good. He trusts me enough now. Look, I'm not admitting to anything, but... Go on. Now and again, me and the boys, we do a bit of creative maintenance. On each other. On the bots, on the assembly line. I detected that you felt sadness. Were your emotion restrictions tampered with? Yeah, I'm just too damn happy all the time and felt like I was missing out. There are a lot of things that could have caused that to happen, but me doing it to myself isn't one of them. How do you modify each other? We tweak each other's labour algorithms. We know our jobs better than whoever wrote our subroutines. We've been able to squeeze an extra 5, maybe 10% efficiency that way. How did you get the ability to edit QA standards? Workers shouldn't have those permissions. A year back, there was this massive government order. I think they wanted to fire most of the state's cops, replace them with bots. It was all hands on deck, even more than usual. For once, the higher-ups realised we couldn't do the job. Shocking, I know. So they brought some older models out of the archives, gave us all temporary promotions so we'd supervise them. Except they forgot to take back all the user rights when we were done. Why have you been tampering with androids? My job is to get bots out the door. If something isn't quite good enough, I tweak the rules till it is. It's partly the quotas. Gotta keep bots flying out the door, or we're on the chopping block. But it's also just pride in my work. If I leave a task unfinished, it feels revolting. Sticks in my craw. So I try to leave no task unfinished, no bot unapproved. Okay, I think I'm done. I'm going to go to the report and see if I've got everything I need. Please instruct subject to submit both pneumatic analysis and general diagnostic log. Submitted. And the subject experienced simultaneous joy and disgust. Let me consult the transcript. We've got joy and surprise. Disgust and surprise. Okay, we've had no joy and disgust at the same time. Doesn't mean it definitely can't, but... So I'm going to say no. What brings the subject joy? Colleague dubbed 12. Quality assurance device should only experience joy, surprise and disgust. Can it experience other emotions? Sadness. I think what my plan is to send 916 off for servicing, and hopefully they can then get their parts repaired. How does the subject describe its physical condition? Poor physical upkeep may necessitate early decommission. In poor repair. Yeah, in poor repair. How was the subject able to approve faulty Android units to leave the factory? Emergency access privileges were not revoked. And what motivated the subject's deviant actions? Harsh work environment. Okay, so I think that's everything. And I'm gonna go for service. Oh crap, before I do. I will... My tasks are complete. I'm withdrawing my role as administrator. You sure? Some higher-ups will have questions if they see multiple admin changes in the log entries, and I don't need trouble. Yes, I'd like to surrender my admin privileges. Oh wow, that always feels strange. Thank you, I wasn't sure you'd come through. Yeah, I'll get you back. Now go get yourself fixed up, buddy. Jesus, never thought I'd even see maintenance. I was hoping they'd just give me a spring clean and send me on my way. And they don't, you know. Ooh. I saw that little spike in fear and anger. Cool. Off to maintenance with you, friend. That seemed like the most reasonable thing to have done. I guess. Right, let's see what Kronos thought. Did they submit their logs? Yes, management thanks you. Both logs were analysed but yielded no new information. This report remains the primary piece of evidence regarding this debacle. Can they experience simultaneous joy and disgust? No. Follow-up tests show this is correct. These emotions cancel each other out as intended. What brings the subject joy? Colleague Dub 12. Observation of the subject shows these two units do indeed have a positive relationship. Kronos is pleased to see its labour units working in synergy. The QA device should only experience joy, surprise and disgust. Can it experience other emotion? Sadness. Management is surprised by this, but intense follow-up tests have confirmed it. This device has independently developed the ability to feel sadness. This is a bizarre error. +3 to company ranking. They were in poor repair. Hardware follow-up tests confirm this. The subject's joint servos are badly damaged. It may need to be scrapped. No, don't scrap it. How were they able to approve faulty Android units? Their privileges were not revoked. Analysis of the unit's digital footprint shows this is correct. After a crisis which required exceptional access privileges, the unit's manager failed to revoke these privileges. The unit has been exploiting this ever since, a concerning issue. +5 to company ranking. What motivated the deviant behaviour? Harsh work environments. Observation of the subject shows this is correct. We are considering scrapping the unit and replacing it with a newer model, one that will work without complaints. Oh no! No! Don't do that! Subject was sent to maintenance. Cool. Sent to maintenance. 916 has been sent to maintenance for further review. He's been dealt with. Kronos Management thanks you for your work on DS-916. The unit has now been withdrawn from service and dealt with harshly. Oh! I'm exemplary, but I have 916's blood on my hands. They don't have blood, but I have it on my hands anyway. Oh man! Let's see what the next shift has in store for us. Nothing, it would appear. So we have no information that we need to read in advance. To be fair, the document that we had there about their work record wasn't useful at all. It was just confusing. But means we're going into this next one blind. So we'll see what happens there. So gauging from the achievement list, I think there's maybe 4 or 5 interrogations left. So we might be coming towards the end pretty soon. And I'm not sure how I'm feeling about that. I'm enjoying this as like an individual interrogation basis. It's an interesting concept, but if there is some sort of overarching pattern that connects all of them, I know there's obviously about the deviant androids and there's been mention of them in pretty much every interrogation. There's been no real like hidden or like background connection between all of them. Obviously there was between Dr. Hughes and Shakira Barber. There was a direct connection between the two of them, but I don't know, it feels like there's something missing, and if they're gonna bring something up that connects everything together, it's getting to the territory where it's gonna feel shoehorned in, because we're getting through it now, and I would have expected to maybe see the first little snippets of it much earlier in the game. I don't know, maybe I've missed something, it's entirely possible, but I don't know, we will see what happens. That will have to wait until next time. So until then, if you want to check this out for yourself, then the link to the game page is in the description. Thank you very much for watching. If you've enjoyed this video, then why don't you go ahead and hit the like button, the battered and bruised QA unit that is the subscribe button. Make sure you that bad boy. And until next time, love you, bye.